channel. Today what I'm doing is my shore excursions review of the Carnival cruise, the Dream, that we just went on. So the shore excursions that we did is we did in Montego Bay. We did the horseback ride and swim. So that was our first one. Super, super fun. Now I have done it before. Now we did it whenever we went in through Falmouth. I did like that one better because we were able to partner it with the Duns River Falls and the horseback ride and swim. Definitely recommend that. That is like the best excursion I've ever been on in my entire life. Just doing the horseback ride and swim, it is really great. And if you've never ridden a horse in the ocean or ridden a horse on the beach, you get to do both of those things at the same time. Now you don't get to do like very much just riding on the beach. I mean, you have very good views a lot of the time, but there's not just like an excessive amount of ocean views. But it is very enjoyable. It's through Chuck. It's a reputable company. You can buy photos. That's been done. And if you ask your guide to take photos of you, he usually will. Just don't ask him when there are other guides around, because he does still want a tip as well. So if he does take pictures of you, then just give him a tip for sure. And you should give him a tip probably anyways. So it was really great. Some of the good things is they do put you with the horse that should best suit you. You are with a guide. There are so many guides. There's a big group of you, so you may be worried that there's going to be like one guide and you won't be able to hear and that kind of stuff. That's not really the situation. It's really more like per family or per group, depending on how big the group is. Sometimes if there's only two of you, then there'll be like you two and then another group of two. But usually about 4 or 5 people will be with per guide. So we had 5 people in our group, and so we had one guide, and it was amazing. And I asked him to take pictures of us, and he took pictures of us individually and as a group on the horses. I wish we could have got a picture in the ocean, but that's obviously really hard to make happen because I don't want to take my camera out in the ocean. So I just paid for the one picture that they took. Now the pictures themselves are quite expensive, like $15, but that's pretty typical for any kind of professional photo. One issue with the ocean stuff is that we were not able to go out with the same group. I wish I would have asked for that, so that way we could have got a picture of us all together in the water. Now they do take individual photos as well in the water. The only con I would see is that you're not in the water very long at all. Whenever I went a long time ago, they were in a different location, and I guess they've gotten really busy since then, and we probably spent 15-20 minutes in the water. This time you probably spent, well, in reality you probably did spend about 10 minutes or so in the water, but it was very, very short. So it says there's a 50-minute horseback riding time. Probably 10 minutes of that is in the water with the swimming. The rest of that would be on the trail. I would say maybe even longer than that on the trail. I would say you might even get an hour on the trail and then maybe just 10 minutes in the water. So just expect that the majority of that horseback riding time will be to do the riding on the like on the beach and seeing views and stuff like that, and then just at the end, kind of to cool off, you just to get to go swimming with the horses, which was super, super cool. Again, if you've never done it, definitely recommend. I've done it twice now, so I probably won't do it again, at least not in Jamaica. I may do it in a different island. After that, we did actually have an hour beach break, and it was at the Hard Rock Hotel, really close to the Carnival cruise ship, and that was good. But anytime you just have an hour at the beach, I mean, you just barely get going and then it's time to go. So to me, you could just take it or leave that. If they're going to do a beach break, they should do it for 2 hours, and there was enough time to do it, so they should have done at least 2 hours at the beach. But out of a 1 to 5 rating for my short excursion for the horseback ride and swim, I would give it a 5 out of 5. I absolutely love it. Okay, then we went to Grand Cayman and we did the Nautilus semi-submarine. Now that was really cool. We got to go inside the little submarine. It doesn't get completely submerged, so if you're worried about that, it's still like the top part of it is above water, but the rest of it is under the water, and so you get to go see all of the reefs and stuff that is around the Grand Cayman Island there. It's only about an hour ride, so it's not very long, but that honestly is about as long as I'd want to be in there doing that. So it really is about as much time as you'd want doing that, especially with little kids. We got to see all kinds of fish, and we got to see a shark, and we got to see a turtle, so that was awesome. And then a diver gets in and he brings fish around, all the way around. Please check out my vlog to check out what it looked like, and he'll bring fish all the way around to get closer view and stuff like that. So it was a great excursion. To me though, I personally like excursions that are whenever we go on the islands that we get off as soon as the ship docks, and then we're off all day, and then we come back and we're like the last people get on the ship. I am very much into those excursions that take me a long time because I don't really like to shop. If you're one of those people who don't want to spend a lot of time on an excursion and you want to do more shopping or just hanging around town, then that would be a perfect excursion for you because you have 1 hour and then maybe like 15 minutes both ways of just logistics of just getting to the boat and making sure everybody's there and that kind of stuff. So yeah, you're really only in like an hour and a half of your time. So you could even book this say like later in the day if you wanted to have a late morning to stay on the ship or anything. This is a great, just like if you've never taken an excursion before, this would be a great kind of way to get started doing one. But yeah, definitely recommend. But would I do it again? Probably not, because I've now done it. But would I recommend it? Absolutely. So I would say a 3 out of 5, just because of the amount of time that I would like to spend. And so, but now we have been to Grand Cayman many times now, and so we've already done some of the other tours. So that's why we chose to do that. But definitely, if you have little kids though, it's like a 4 out of 5 because they really did seem to really enjoy it as much as they could enjoy something like that. Like, so they were really into that. Okay, and then finally, we went to Cozumel, Mexico, and we went to Isla Pasión. It's like a beach break by Power Catamaran. Loved the beach we actually went to itself. It was all-inclusive, so you had free food and free drinks and free alcohol, as well as you, of course, you had your beach, you had free kayaking, you had basketball courts, which I don't know who would want to be doing that at that moment. I would love to play basketball, just not on the beach. They had a playground. My 4-year-old spent at least an hour, if not 2, at the playground and then doing arts and crafts. She super loves that kind of stuff. So she really liked doing that, playing with the other little kids and stuff like that. Of course, then they had their meal and stuff like that. They also had these really cool water hammocks, and they had regular kind of swing seats at the bar. So they had really cool areas to kind of hang out in. Really loved the beach. We took this Power Catamaran. Now do keep in mind a Power Catamaran is not like a typical catamaran. A typical catamaran has like a big net thing out front where you can kind of lay on and relax on like an open top boat. That's not what this is. A Power Catamaran is like almost like a ferry boat sort of. So like there's no really where to stand outside. I mean, you're just going to sit inside kind of like a bus. It's like a bus going on the water. So that's not really that exciting. They didn't really talk any at all the whole time. So it's like 45 minutes there, 45 minutes back. The baby did sleep on the way there, which is kind of good, I guess. But there's a lot of time. But that does happen because Cozumel doesn't have as much there. So pretty much anything you want to do on the mainland, or this was an island, but it was closer to the mainland, is about a 45-minute or to an hour Power Catamaran ride. So you'll notice that most of the ones offer that because that's what you have to do. You have to take that to get across to the mainland, but that's just normal. But if I could take that out, I super, super loved it. We had, I think, 3 hours at the beach, and that's as much as we could do because by the time you have the hour at the beginning, hour at the end for transportation, you know, you only have 3 hours or so before we leave with the ship. So I would do it again, I think, but the hour at transportation at the beginning and the end kind of almost kills it for me just because of I feel like I could be at the beach longer at somewhere else maybe, but it was a really, really nice beach. Loved doing the kayaks. It was super easy to paddle because there was not a lot of waves because they had to have this little break there. It had some seaweed though, so if you're really not into seaweed, there was some seaweed in the water for sure. The service was amazing. The drinks were pretty good. They were a little bit watered down, but that's pretty typical, all-inclusive. The food was okay, nothing super exciting. It was like Mexican food, but there wasn't a whole lot of variety. But the beach itself was beautiful, and you got your chair and umbrella, and that was also included with that. So it was a really good beach, and my entire party really, really liked it. And so it was very kind of a low-key day. So I was able to take people with me from as little as 18 months all the way up to 85 years old, and they all had a good time. And they could all kind of do whatever they would like to do. There's also shopping there as well. If you're worried about shopping, there's a few stores to sell local crafts. There are bathrooms available. So it really is everything you'd need for a full day. So I kind of wish we could stay there a full day, but they don't even have people that stay there overnight. It is literally just an all-inclusive, like, cruise, like, day place. So that's all that's there is people who's going on cruises and stuff. So super enjoy it. Again, it's Isla Pasión. Definitely recommend it. I would say a 5 out of 5. for the beach itself, 5 out of 5. For the excursion, 4 out of 5, just because of the transportation to and from. But in Cozumel, I don't know how you get around that anyways, so you kind of have to take that into consideration. Okay, well, there's my short excursion reviews for the Carnival Dream. Make sure to tune in next time, and God bless and be adventurous. Bye!